A man has been rescued after being trapped for 8 days beneath the rubble of a shopping center that collapsed after last week's twin earthquakes in Venezuela, in a rare moment of hope. Russia has launched a major drone and missile attack on Kyiv, killing 27 people, in what the city's mayor described as the most massive attack on the Ukrainian capital. The attack also drew condemnation from the United Nations, which called it a violation of international humanitarian law. Anthropic is reportedly in talks with Samsung Electronics to manufacture its own custom AI chip. Industry watchers say that if the deal goes through, it could provide a major boost to Samsung's foundry business as competition intensifies in the global AI chip market. Hello and thanks for joining us on Arirang News. We begin today in Venezuela, where rescue efforts have yielded a rare moment of hope more than a week after devastating twin earthquakes. An international team of responders has successfully extracted a 43-year-old security guard who spent 8 days trapped beneath the rubble of a collapsed shopping center. Our Kim Do-yeon starts us off.
A round of applause in Venezuela as rescuers transfer 43-year-old security guard Hernan Alberto Il Flores to a waiting ambulance. He was pulled alive from the collapsed basement of a shopping center in Katia Lamar early Thursday after 8 days, trapped 9 meters under the rubble following 2 devastating earthquakes. He survived the initial collapse because his small security workstation shielded him from crushing debris and created a vital air pocket. Due to severe structural instability, specialized teams from Chile, Costa Rica, El Salvador, and the U.S. had to dig 2 separate tunnels to reach him. Footage from the operation captured the moment rescuers first established verbal contact through the dense concrete.
¿Dónde estás? ¿Alcanza a llegar la luz de aquí arriba? ¿Estás bien?
Sí, estoy bien. Lo que pasa es que las piedras me tienen mal la espalda.
Workers maintained contact via telescopic cameras and provided hydration through tubing, keeping him stable during the extraction.
2 days ago, our medical team was able to insert a way through the same opening we had created to insert a camera, and through that opening, we were able to hydrate him.
For his family, the initial contact ended a week of agonizing uncertainty.
First, there were days of sadness, pain, and desperation because they couldn't find him. I didn't know if he was alive or dead, if he was injured, or if they took him to a hospital. But when I realized he was alive, it was like a ray of light in the darkness.
According to latest figures from the government, the magnitude 7.2 and 7.5 earthquakes killed at least 2,595 people and injured more than 12,400. Widely used unofficial registries list approximately 38,600 people as still missing. Kim Do-yeon, Arirang News.
Russia has launched one of its largest air assaults on Kyiv since the start of the war, killing at least 27 people and injuring dozens more in a massive drone and missile barrage. The attack prompted fresh condemnation from the United Nations, which called for an immediate ceasefire and warned that strikes on civilians and civilian infrastructure violate international law. Our Lee Seung-jae has more.
Russian forces launched a massive drone and missile assault on Kyiv into the early hours of Thursday morning, killing at least 27 people and injuring 91 others in one of the largest attacks on the city since the war began. Kyiv Mayor Vitaly Klitschko described the barrage as the most massive attack ever carried out against the capital in terms of the number of weapons used. Although previous Russian strikes have resulted in higher death tolls, Ukrainian officials said the latest assault stood out for both its scale and the wide area affected. Several neighborhoods were evacuated as emergency crews rushed to respond to fires and damaged buildings across the city. The attack came just hours after Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky warned that Russia appeared to be preparing a new offensive against the capital. Moscow defended the operation, saying Russian forces targeted military production facilities in retaliation for what it described as Ukrainian attacks on Russian civilian infrastructure. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said Russia would continue increasing pressure on what he called the Kyiv regime in order to achieve its military objectives. Ukraine rejected those claims, accusing Russia of deliberately targeting civilian areas and arguing there could be no comparison between the actions of an invading force and a country defending itself. The attack also drew condemnation from the United Nations. UN spokesman Stephane Dujarric said Secretary General Antonio Guterres strongly condemned these strikes and reiterated that attacks against civilians and civilian infrastructure violate international humanitarian law.
Turning to Ukraine, the Secretary General strongly condemns the overnight missile and drone attacks by the armed forces of the Russian Federation on the capital city, Kyiv, and other Ukrainian cities. Any attacks against civilians and civilian infrastructure, wherever they occur, are a clear violation of international humanitarian law and must stop immediately.
The spokesperson added that the UN chief called for an urgent de-escalation of the conflict and appealed for a full, immediate, and unconditional ceasefire between the two sides. Lee Seung-jae, Arirang News.
U.S. job growth slowed sharply in June, falling far below expectations with just 57,000 jobs added. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics on Thursday, the unemployment rate ticked down to 4.2%. Labor force participation also fell, indicating fewer Americans are actively seeking work. The government also revised down job gains for April and May by a combined 74,000. The slowdown coincides with inflation hitting a three-year high, driven largely by energy price shocks from the war with Iran. The conflicting data leaves the Federal Reserve in a tight spot, making it difficult to raise interest rates to fight inflation without risking a broader economic downturn. U.S. artificial intelligence startup Anthropic is reportedly in talks with Samsung Electronics to manufacture custom AI chips. According to U.S. tech media outlet The Information on Thursday, Anthropic has begun early-stage work on developing its own AI chips and is considering Samsung as a potential manufacturing partner. The discussions reportedly center on using Samsung Foundry's cutting-edge 2-nanometer manufacturing process and advanced chip packaging technology. The 2-nanometer process is among the most advanced semiconductor technologies available today, offering higher chip density and improved power efficiency. If realized, the partnership could provide a major boost to Samsung's foundry business as competition intensifies in the global AI chip market. South Korea's foreign exchange reserves for June rose by $370 million compared to the month before, according to the Bank of Korea. The central bank attributed the modest rebound, which brought the figure to $427.36 billion to an increase in foreign currency deposits at financial institutions. That offset the impact of market stabilization measures, including a currency swap deal with the National Pension Service. By asset type, deposits rose by $920 million, while securities holdings fell by $330 million. As of the end of May, Korea ranked 13th globally in foreign exchange reserves, $3.1 billion behind Singapore in 12th place. A traditional toy market in Seoul is drawing an unexpected crowd these days, as sensory toys are gaining popularity among young adults as a simple way to relax and relieve stress. Our Cho Young-eun takes us there.
This is Changsindong Toy Street, home to Korea's largest toy market with more than 100 stores. Here's a closer look to what's drawing so many young adults here. It's a weekday morning, yet crowds of people are lining up outside toy stores in Seoul. But these aren't parents shopping for their children. They're young adults searching for ballangi, soft, squishy, sensory toys that have become the latest trend. From squishy toys and wax-coated stress balls to clickable keycap keyrings, sensory toys are rapidly gaining popularity among people in their 20s and 30s.
This soap-shaped one is the most popular. When you squeeze it, it makes a satisfying sound, and there are tiny bead-like pieces inside. It's a mix of slime and clay, so it has a really nice texture. Compared to the basic ones, it feels better, makes better popping sounds, and helps relieve a lot more stress.
I kept seeing them all over Instagram, so I wanted to try one myself. My older sister buys them, and so do all my friends. After making one together with them, I thought, I should get one too.
These tactile items are now being embraced as a fun way to relieve stress and satisfy the growing demand for daily comfort. Stationery store owners say the trend has breathed new life into the neighborhood, bringing a steady stream of visitors to the market.
There was a time when the market had almost no customers, as schools now purchase most of the stationery through suppliers. But as the market for these toys grew, more customers came, and the street has become lively again.
Experts say the craze reflects the growing popularity of sensory consumption, a lifestyle centered on small purchases that provide emotional comfort.
Handling toys like these can help slow down the rapid pace of psychological stimulation people experience in everyday life. That process can relieve stress and provide a sense of emotional stability and healing, which is why so many young people are drawn to them.
Easy to carry and affordable, these toys not only deliver immediate satisfaction, but also shared experience among young adults. 조영은, Arirang News.
Will robots ever beat the World Cup champions? Robocup 2026, the World Cup for robots, has opened in Korea. Our Lee was there.
While soccer fans around the world are focused on the FIFA World Cup this summer, a different kind of match has kicked off in Korea. On this soccer pitch in Incheon, there are no human players, just robot passing and chasing the balls. Robocup, the world's largest robotics and AI competition, held in Korea for the first time. The event, taking place in Incheon from July 2nd to 6th, brings together participants from 45 nations, making it the largest Robocup in history. Many young visitors headed to the event, curious about the human-like robots and ready to cheer on the Korean teams.
Since robots and AI will be the new trend for our children's generation, I wanted them to experience it firsthand.
The competition consists of 5 leagues: soccer, home service, industrial automation, rescue, and junior league. Among those, the soccer league is drawing the most attention. Inha University's Inha United is competing in middle-sized soccer league. It faced Wuhan University, a strong opponent in their first match, but held its ground.
Since our first game is done, we'll improve what we lacked and try to finish the rest of the tournament smoothly.
Meanwhile, Incheon National University was the only Korean team in the Smart Manufacturing League under the Industrial Division. Robots were required to assemble a product piece by piece within a time limit, and Team INU were recognized for their precise control.
I hope the skills and know-how we developed for this competition will support future robotics research and industry.
The ultimate goal of Robocup is to develop a fully autonomous humanoid robot team that can defeat the FIFA World Cup champions by 2050.
The goal may be ambitious, but Robocup 2026 shows that it's no longer just science fiction. Lee Ju-yeon, Arirang News.
One of Asia's premier genre film festivals is marking a major milestone this year. From honoring the cinematic legacy and exploring the next generation of filmmaking, the Bucheon International Fantastic Film Festival celebrates its 30th anniversary. Our Shin-seol reports.
The red carpet rolls out to applause as cameras flash and cheers fill the air. Marking its 30th anniversary, the Bucheon International Fantastic Film Festival transforms into the center of cinematic imagination, attracting international fans and acclaimed film icons. One of the standout stars, Chinese actress Fan Bingbing, embodied this year's chameleon-inspired festival theme in a striking black and white gown, symbolizing the festival's 3 decades of reinvention. Joining her was French screen legend Isabelle Huppert, a 2-time Cannes Best Actress winner and former Cannes jury president. This year's festival is the largest ever with 321 films from 50 countries. The opening film Blades of the Guardians, a martial arts epic by Yuan Wuping, revives the raw physicality of classical Xia through real stunt work rather than CGI. As part of the 30th anniversary celebrations, BIFAN launched the Asian Genre Film 99, a 3-year project that showcases landmark works and invites audiences to reflect on how Asian movies have evolved alongside society and culture. As part of the project, BIFAN has also selected the work of 11 female filmmakers to highlight the contribution of women in an industry dominated by male directors.
Being here at the festival reminds me that films can change people's perspectives. They have the power to touch lives and even change them.
Expanding beyond the theater, the neighborhood cinema programs bring free screenings, audience talks, and accessible community spaces across Bucheon. At the center, the fantastic portal is filled with handwritten dreams and messages from guests, emphasizing an interactive journey from the cinema's past to its future.
I'm proud that Bucheon hosts this event every year. The festival atmosphere makes watching films here a completely different experience from a regular movie theater.
Running through July 12th, the festival celebrates storytelling that transcends cultural boundaries, inviting audiences to immerse themselves in global stories. It also offers a glimpse into an AI-driven future of cinema. Shin So-eun, Arirang News.
This is The World Now, bringing you everything you need to know from around the globe. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, the first patient has been enrolled in a treatment trial for the Bundibugyo Ebola outbreak. The World Health Organization said on Thursday that the trial will test an experimental antibody drug from MAP Biopharmaceutical, both on its own and alongside Gilead's antiviral drug remdesivir. 1,000 patients will be enrolled over the coming months. There are no approved vaccines or treatments for the Bundibugyo strain, which has now caused more than 1,400 cases and 438 deaths. Treatment capacity has also been expanded to 650 beds, about 96% of them occupied. 9 Buddhist monks were killed and several others injured on Thursday when an 11-year-old boy driving his parents' pickup truck crashed into their procession in northeastern Thailand. Police said a group of 35 monks and 5 followers were walking along the road in Mukdahan province on a pilgrimage when the truck struck them. 5 monks died at the scene and 4 more later in hospital. Police said the boy took the vehicle without permission and lost control, and that preliminary information indicated he is a child with special needs. 3 monks remain in critical condition. In the U.S., President Trump has promised to deliver a long speech for the July 4th celebrations, despite forecasts of extreme heat, as the U.S. marks the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Trump said Wednesday temperatures would reach around 107 degrees, but that he would give lengthy remarks to show that he can do anything. Trump's speech is set to begin late in the evening when temperatures will have eased. Organizers say fireworks launched from 10 sites will be the largest display in history. U.S. pop superstar Taylor Swift and American football player Travis Kelce are reportedly already married. Amid preparations for an expected wedding celebration at New York's Madison Square Garden, the New York Post reported on Thursday that the couple had already exchanged vows before a small group of loved ones. The outlet did not say when or where, and Taylor Swift's publicist did not respond to a request for comment. The union, dubbed America's Royal Wedding, is one of the most anticipated celebrity weddings of the century. Chu Ji-hyun, Arirang News.
The summer monsoon rain is coming back. Rain has already begun on Jeju-do Island this morning and will spread to the southern coast by late this afternoon. Then by tomorrow morning, most of southern provinces will see some monsoon showers. Meanwhile, Jeju Island and southern coast could see 20 to 80 millimeters into Saturday. And as we head into Sunday and Monday, the rain will become much more widespread, eventually covering nearly the entire country. But before the monsoon rain fully arrives today, scattered showers will pop up across inland areas with 5 to 40 millimeters expected along with thunderstorms. And this afternoon, Seoul gets up to 30 degrees Celsius, Daejeon at 31 degrees, Daegu will make it to 29 degrees Celsius. But that muggy air will make it feel a lot more uncomfortable. Then the rainy pattern becomes much more active next week and mornings will get much warmer.
That's all we have for today's noon edition of Arirang News. Thank you for watching. We'll be back at 5 p.m. Korea time. Stay tuned.